So hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Street VN. So it's me too again
and me Liesl.
And today we are going to introduce to you guys one of the most ancient stilt house in Vietnam.
Huh. What do you mean by ancient stilt house? Thu, I'm so interested in the history and the people and how they came to be here, these ethnic minorities in the northern areas. So you're saying that this is ancient?
Yes, it is.
Tell me more.
So you are actually drinking the tea from the minority people. They have made it for you. So this house is actually more than 100 years old already.
Wow.
That's why I say this is an ancient house, still house.
Right. How is it possible that it can be so old?
Yes. So this house is actually built. The Nùng people, they have migrated to Vietnam 300 years ago. They have migrated from the Vietnam Chinese into here and built this house.
So I'm guessing, Thu, that stilt house is the topic of our lesson today.
Right. And you're going to share some of the lesson to the audience?
I think that we should take a look at the imperative sentence.
Yes.
And we'll take a look at some idioms related to a house.
And also some vocabulary, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, take a look at this clip about introducing our topic for today.
Today, the living habit in stilt house of people in the mountains remains unchanged. Virtually all activities are happening here. Worshipping ancestors, welcoming guests, cooking, eating, as well as the place for embroidery, weaving, knitting blankets, or brocade weaving. The Nùng live in a stilt house, or half-stilt, half-earth houses, or earthen houses, which are made from natural materials such as wood, bamboo, and rattan. The stilts of the Tây and Nùng in the northwest Vietnam is usually lean back on hills, face out towards the fields and the airy, spacious natural landscapes, avoiding mountains, rivers, or bushes with mysterious shapes. These things come from the concept of the Tây. Nùng said that peak of mountain which looks like arrow shape towards your house will make everyone in that house usually encounter accidents or casualties. Bush shaped like white beads will make livestock or poultry killed or arrested, while a stream flowing through the house would result in losing the property. A stilt house has different functions. The upper part is for living, the lower part is for raising livestock and storing farming tools, and the garret is for storing foods and home utilities. Arrangements of Nùng stilt and ground houses are similar. The entrance door is at the front of the gable of the house. A house is divided into two parts with an interconnected door. The inner part is for women, used as kitchen and a place for storage. The outer part, which is for men, is where to place the ancestor altar and receive guests. Nùng people are not supposed to lie with their legs toward the altar because it is the lying direction of the dead.
So Liesl, we are going to talk about the inside of the house, right?
Absolutely.
And in this part, we're also sharing vocabulary related to the architecture inside a stilt house.
Right. And I'm really hoping that you'll share more with me about how people live in here.
Yes, that's the most curious part for you, right?
Right.
Yes.
Especially because this house is so old and it's lasted so long, right?
So speaking of the old house, do you know the reason why this house is very old but still very strong?
No. What is it?
So for a long time ago, the Nùng people, they actually use the wood, the special kind of wood.
Do you know which kinds of wood? There was what did they call it?
Is that the bullet wood? Yep, bullet wood. I just forget that word, but it's actually the special kind of wood, which is the bullet wood, and also the purple wood. So these two wood is very firm and strong. So they use these two and mix together and build a stilt house.
Right.
Yep.
I've noticed that part of the structure is that there are many wooden stilts under the house.
Yep.
There are wooden pillars, and they're very thick wooden pillars.
Yep, you're right.
Then the walls are made of wooden slats.
And the floor is made of bamboo slats.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. So can you share more? I see that this is an open plan house.
Yes.
But Is there any significance to the way people live here?
Yes, so all the normal steel house, they were divided into 3 or 5 sections. And for the main section, there will be the altar sitting on the main section, which on the left section is the daily activities for the women, which on the right section is the daily activities for the men. And for the main section where the altar sits is only for the ancestor anniversary worshipping days, where they can sit in the main section only for that day.
Right.
Yeah. And actually, as you can see, this is the left side, which is the second entrance of the house. This house is only for the daughter-in-law when they come to the husband's house.
You mean door, right?
Yep. Door.
So they have that front door, which is the main door, and then they have a side door, which is just for women. And when the bride comes to her husband's house, she's only allowed to enter through that.
True. Yes,
Wow.
you're right.
And that door, is there anything specific about its orientation?
The orientation is actually only for the men to
right.
come to the main entrance, the main door of the house.
Right.
Yep.
I've often heard in Eastern religions about things pointing east, west, north, south. Do they have anything like that in this house?
Oh, you mean the side of the main entrance?
Yeah.
The main entrance is actually the north-south. And if they build the steel house, they have to build the main entrance to be directly into north-south.
Okay. Really, really interesting. Thank you so much for sharing more about
No worries,
that.
that's my pleasure. And I think this part is we're going to talk to the grandma, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wanted to share a little bit about the imperative sentence. And Tu is going to help me talk about the indirect,
Yep.
and I will talk about the direct.
Sure.
So what is an imperative? It's when you ask something or give a command. For example, do this, do that.
Is
right?
that anything like I command you to do things?
All the time.
No way.
Liesl, work harder.
Liesl, talk louder.
Okay.
Just like that, right?
Absolutely.
Maybe you give some example for the audience about the direct, right? And I
Okay.
will talk about the indirect.
So for example, I tell Tu,
Yes.
Tu,
Yes.
sit down.
And then the indirect will be Liesl asked me to sit down. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So the structure of the direct imperative sentence is you give the verb, then the preposition. For example, sit down. Sit is the verb and
Yes.
down is the preposition, right?
Right.
So if I said that to Tu, Tu, sit down, could you explain the structure of the infinitive?
Indirect.
The indirect, sorry.
You mean indirect, right? So
Right.
for the formula of the indirect, there will be a subject plus it depends on the situation, which you can say asked to or told when you ask someone to do something, and then the object, right? The rest of the sentence. Yep. For example, if Liesl told me that to sit down, and I would say Liesl asked you to sit down. So is that the rest of the sentence will be to plus verb. Any verb you like, depend on the situation.
Yeah.
That's correct?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So in this situation, in this house, I would say, Tu, don't eat your noodles on that side of the house.
And I would say, Liesl told me not to eat the noodle on the wrong side of the house.
Correct.
Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. Wow, I'm really, really amazed that we can sit in such an ancient house of the Nhung Zhao people.
You can have that traditional, it's like the very peaceful feeling when you're sitting in such a house like this, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's the only once experience in my life.
Yeah.
Well, one time experience.
I think so too. Well, next, coming up, we have our challenge.
Are you excited for the challenge here today?
Pretty much. I think that it's going to be a very fun challenge for me and not for you.
Yep, you should accept the challenge straight away, Liesl. Let's go. So Liesl, is that the challenge we're having here?
Yeah, can you guess what it is?
I can see a knife, corn.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm looking for it.
All right, so I'm going to tell Tu to do 5 things so you can see what the imperative looks like. Tu, pick up a piece of corn.
So Liesl told me to pick up a piece of corn.
Put the corn down on the chopping board.
So Liesl asked me to put the corn down on the chopping board. Sure. What else? Don't cut my hand.
Chop the corn.
So Lizzo asked me to chop the corn in the middle.
But I don't know. Don't laugh. Liesel told Tu not to laugh.
But she failed.
All right, 2 more.
Yes.
Pour me some tea.
So Lizzo asked me to pull some tea for my queen.
Wow.
There's actually some
There's
tea.
actually tea in there. Oops.
Sorry. Sorry, my queen.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
What
Go
else?
away now.
Oh my god, Lizzo told me to go away.
Those are just all examples of how you can use the imperative and how you could make it indirect.
Yes.
Just for you guys.
Yep.
Purtu, are you okay with the big knife?
I'm okay.
She survived. She survived the big knife.
survived.
I'm so proud of you too.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm proud of myself too.
Great.
Because I survived under your command.
Queen Liesel. Do you have anything else you want to say to the audience?
So audiences, it is actually the end of the episode, right? And I commend you guys to always keep revising your vocabulary related to the still house and also the grammar, which is the direct and indirect imperative.
And the history and vocabulary related to the stilt house and the history of the nùng people. Isn't that fascinating? Yep, you keep studying, and Tu is going to give me some instructions. Now I will be her queen. But that's it for the episode. We'll see you next time with more interesting things around Vietnam, English learning, and challenges. Lots of
Featuring
love. Yeah.
Lizzo
Yeah.
and Tu.
Yay!